Welcome to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 375 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. It's so good to have you here. Going to be live hacking on some Firefox stuff. I'm very pleased about that. Let's get into it. I'll start by sharing my screen. Yeah, it's August 7th, 2024. Boy, how the time flies. This year is flying by. It's episode 375. A reminder, no plan survives breakfast. I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know whether or not we're going to be able to make progress on the stuff I want to make progress on. We might get stuck. We might get it all done. We might go deep. We might get distracted. Anything could happen. And we're just going to sort of figure it out as we go along. None of this is like pre-written or pre-scripted. So you just get to hang around while I do my job. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the agenda that we're looking at is a thing you have access to. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the video description down below. If you're on Twitch, check out the details, like the channel details. If you're on Air Mozilla, check out the details section to your left, my right. And you should find a link to the agenda. And as I update the agenda, you'll see this little spinny spin. And then if you reload, the agenda will be up to date. I'm gonna get right into it. Guess what? I'm traveling again. No episode next week or the week after. I will be back on August 28th for episode 376. So that's your opportunity. You get 2 weeks to sort of like watch the back catalog if you really miss me, and maybe catch up on episodes you might have missed. I saw this fly by and I thought this was fairly interesting. Check this out. Announcing official Puppeteer support for Firefox. So this is a long-running project. If you're not familiar with Puppeteer, Puppeteer is a library that is used to test browsers. It's a generic. It's supposed to be like a generic library to test your web application or your website against some browsers. And I believe by default, it was able to support the Blink-based browsers, like the Chromium-based browsers. And I don't know if it ever did Safari, but it definitely did the Chrome ones. And there's like an API called WebDriver BIDI that I think it's using as the protocol, the underlying protocol. But this is far more powerful than some of the other automation, like some of the other techniques that were used to instrument and automate browsers. Like Selenium was like the go-to choice, and it was good, but it had its problems. And it was also I remember having some difficulty writing Selenium tests, and I think you had to use Python. Maybe you could write them in different things. Long story short, Puppeteer is a new-ish automation library for instrumenting your browser tests, and I think you can write your tests in JavaScript now, and it is now officially supporting Firefox. That's really nice. So it means we implemented enough of the WebDriver BIDI spec to allow it to be supported. So you need to use the latest stable version of Firefox. That's 129. That went out yesterday, and WebDriver BIDI is mentioned. That's going through standardization. Gecko and Chromium has that. There's lots of stuff you can do. For longtime Puppeteer users, the features available are familiar. However, for people in other automation and testing ecosystems, particularly those that until recently relied heavily on WebDriver, this section outlines some of the new functionalities. So you can like capture log messages from the console. That's nice. You can pretend you're a different mobile device. That's interesting. You can do network interception to look at, I guess, packets, or maybe you can like get entire logs of like network traffic, which might be interesting. And providing mock response data, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Preload scripts, I don't exactly know what that is, but that's exciting. And if you're really, really curious, you should read the blog post. There's a lot of text here, but this is good. The more people, the more we make it easy for people to test their websites in Firefox, the easier it is for people to notice when their site breaks in Firefox. And that's just good for web compatibility and the web at large. So it made a lot of sense to invest in this area. Congratulations to the team that was working on WebDriver Biddy. That was a long, like getting to this point it took a lot of effort. So special shout out, and you should read this blog post if you're curious. Schizophrenic web developer says, is this Puppeteer? Yes, it is Puppeteer. Here, I'll even drop a link into the chat. There, you can follow that link and read up on it. So now, with the latest Firefox, you can use Puppeteer. I think you can just like drop in a different browser. You can just like drop in the Firefox string here as the browser, and I think it should more or less do all the Puppeteer things. I don't actually know. I've never used Puppeteer. I don't write web applications. I write web browsers. But check it out. Testing is good. Test your stuff. Well, speaking of testing, I'm also I don't know if you can tell, I am testing the vertical tabs still of in Firefox Nightly. I think I'd given you some tips on how to test that yourself last episode. If you're curious, you can go watch that episode. I think I talk about it right from the top. Slowly but surely, it's getting better and better. I'm slowly getting used to it. I'm not totally sold on vertical tabs personally for myself just yet. I know lots of people find them useful, but I'm still having a hard time sometimes finding it useful. But who knows? Maybe I'm just using it wrong. We'll see. I'm going to keep using it just so I can understand, and so I can also test for bugs. All right, so what are we doing today? I want to write tests for backup regeneration. So all that lock stuff that we were working on last week, the web lock stuff, that all landed. So web locks are now available in the parent process and in the privileged script. We're using locks to make sure that creating a backup doesn't get interrupted by a deletion of a backup at the same time, like the two sort of asynchronous methods don't interleave one another, and we do that using web locks, which is a really nice primitive for that kind of synchronization and coordination. Now I want to write tests, and I started to write tests for it, and I thought that's what we'd continue on today during the stream. So let's do it. Where am I? Well, here's the tests I've got so far. I've imported a bunch of stuff, and then I've got this like the first regeneration that I'm working on is in the event that a user intentionally deletes history. So not that history expires, but intentionally deletes history, then we are going to do the conservative thing for now and regenerate the backup. And this is because you might be sitting back and going like, wait a second. So that means that as soon as I delete history, just like one history entry or some history entry, you're going to blow away my backup? Yes, because we're being conservative to start. What we desperately don't want is for people to delete their history, expecting that history to be wiped from their machine and to have it still exist in a backup somewhere. We don't want people who are deleting history as a safety measure for themselves to get caught out by having it still exist in the most recent backup. So right now we are gonna regenerate backups if you intentionally delete history, and that's like if you delete a single page or if you just clear all your history, we'll regenerate backups. Now, if you yourself are like, well, hold on a second, like I would really like it if in the event that I deleted a page accidentally, I could recover it. Well, then what you should probably be doing is like periodically saving these backup files into someplace else, like moving them into a different place. Maybe you can use a tool like SyncThing or rsync or something, or some mechanism to make sure that your backup file can kind of get rolled back. But for the default case, we want to do the conservative thing here because we don't want to put anyone in danger or really inconvenience anyone. And who knows, we may revisit that after we've rolled this stuff out, but that's the decision. Privacy first, y'all. So this was a test that made sure that if you removed just a single page of history because you deleted it, that we would expect regeneration. And expect regeneration is doing a bunch of work to stub out bits and pieces of the backup service and notice whenever a backup regeneration is requested, and we assume that a backup will be backup regeneration will be. We assert that it will be requested, and if it doesn't, after 1 second, if we don't see a regeneration request, we'll just be like, okay, this didn't work out. We timed out waiting for regeneration. So that's how that works. So this first one works. What so far doesn't work, hang on, let me skip this one. This first one works where we delete a single page. This one down here works where we clear all history. In fact, I can run those two tests and you can see those running and passing. Wait. Yes, okay, so that worked. I don't know why it took so long. Why was that? It shouldn't be like sleeping or anything. Okay, good. I guess had to do some memory stuff. This is the one that's failing right now, and this is the one I'm hoping to look at. So we can delete. Oh, that's. I now know why this is failing. I was like, why is this failing? And just by saying it out loud now I know, because this is not supposed to cause a regeneration. That's why this one's failing. But let me explain what's happening. I'm adding a page into history, and I'm setting the timestamp. Timestamp at 0 is way in the past, in the 1960s. Let's actually look at that new date. That's like at the epoch. It's the Unix epoch start date. And then I force an expiration, and then here I had code that was like expecting a regeneration. What I should not expect a regeneration. So I'm going to use expect no regeneration, and we are going to copy this helper function, and we're going to modify it slightly to do its opposite, which is to expect no regeneration. And so if we see delete last backup, we should reject. As soon as we see one of these things, regeneration promise equals promise with resolvers, we should see this reject. Regeneration promise dot reject. Okay, false. Unexpectedly saw delete last backup call. And then we'll use the same promise here. We'll reject, and we'll say unexpectedly saw that, and we won't need this anymore. And then we will race the two promises, and we will expect saw an unexpected regeneration. We will expect to have this hit the 1 second timeout. So we should expect none of this stuff to get hit. That's what we're hoping. So expect no regeneration. So let's now see if this passes. We'll just run that one. Now we need to document these two things. Passed. Excellent. Okay, so now let's get rid of the only. We'll run all of them. Amazing. Let's run it again. Okay. Saw no regeneration on page remove via expiration. expect no regeneration. Assert, okay. Saw no regeneration within 1 second. There we go. Crushed Optimist says, it looks like you moved Mastodon instance back to fosstodon.org. Yes, I am trying to move back to fosstodon.org. That is correct. I decided to transition back to a separate instance. So saw no regeneration. True. That's all good. I'm happy with that. So those are our 3 tests for history. I'm pretty excited. So now I'm going to update these functions. I'm gonna add some documentation. Adds a visit to the places database. History visit to the places database. String for the URI. A string representation of the URI to add a visit for. Timestamp. It's a number. The numeric, the time, the numeric, and the timestamp default value is date.now. The numeric date time representation, the date time representation, the timestamp for the visit to be used. By default, this is the current time, date and time. Returns, shouldn't return anything. I don't think we use any of that stuff, so it's not going to return anything. Well, I guess it does returns a promise that resolves to undefined. And then expect regeneration. A helper function that sets up a backup service to be instrumented to detect a regeneration, a backup regeneration, and then runs a task function, an async task function, to ensure that the regeneration occurs. This will use assert.ok. Okay, well, no, I think that's probably enough. Task function, and this is a function, async function. I think just function. The async function to run after the backup service has been set up. It is not passed any arguments. Message string. The message to write in the assertion when the regeneration occurs. Prefer function. Okay. Let's explain what these are doing. Now we set up some fake, delete some fake, set up some stubs on the backup service to detect calls to delete last backup and create backup on idle dispatch, which are both called on regeneration. We'll wait for 1 second before considering the regeneration a bust. Okay. then down here, helper functions to detect a backup regeneration, ensure that the regeneration does not occur. The message to write in the assertion when the lack of regeneration occurs, when the regeneration does not occur within the timeout. I set up some stubs that are calls and delete last arc, which are both called on regeneration. We share the same promise here because in either case, either of these being called, this test is a failure. And then we'll wait. We'll wait for 1 second, and if we don't see the regeneration attempt, we'll assume we succeed. The test, we assume it's not coming. Okay. And then we erase them. All right, that's that. That's that. I think I'm happy with that. Run it again. And then we can take a look at the whole patch. Good. Let's take a look at the whole patch and then post it for review. So the whole patch here, we use a deferred task. We set up a places observer, and we set up a debouncer because page removals and bookmark removals can all happen in clusters. And we set up a debounce of 500 milliseconds. And upon the debouncer being armed, we'll delete the last backup and create a new one on idle dispatch. And we set up our observer, and debounce regeneration occurs whenever something that we saw that should trigger a regeneration occurs. So that's the debouncer entry point. And then this is the handler for events coming through our places observer. So as there is not really a point. So page removed, we get a page remove event if the page has been deleted both manually by a user, but also automatically if the page has aged out of the places database. We only want to regenerate backups in the manual case, reason deleted. So if we see that we saw a reason deleted, we'll debounce and then bust out. We're done. Otherwise, if we see history cleared, we'll debounce and we'll bust out. And then we have our test. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and post that up for review. But actually, maybe I can also do this other one. So there's a couple of other reasons why cases where we might want to regenerate backups. The full list is in here. Deleting any history entry, deleting any download history entry. I think that's one we're going to need to add a test for. Deleting any, I think we get that one for free because a download history entry is also just a normal history entry, but we should double check that. Deleting any bookmark, deleting any password. That's what this next one does. Now that I think about it, I want to add a test for download history entry. Test download removed. So how do we, what's a download history entry? Downloads common, places, history removed, download source there's a history element. Right. Download source URL. Delete download. How do we get the full list of downloads though? Downloads. Let's take a look at the tests. Downloads. How do we generate the list of downloads? Like if I run the browser and let's download something. Let's download a file. Test download files. So let's download, decline. Okay, let's download a small file. Potential security risk. Okay, but that shows up in our library. If I restart the browser, is it still in the library? No, it's gone. Now, how about successful downloads? Let's see, a successful download. Let's download some pdf.js demo. Here, let me just download this page. Example.com. Let's download this page. Save page as. I'll put it in downloads. There, I have a download. Now, if I look in here, I have an example domain in my download. I am now going to restart the browser. In history, it's still there. It's still there. So we remember downloads, and I'm trying to remember how we remember downloads. Downloads common. It must be via the places database. Get access to the downloads data. Downloads data from the underlying downloads API. Yeah, I think there's like a downloads under toolkit, is there not? Toolkit, Moz apps, downloads. Here we go. Components, downloads. This is it. Download history. Places, utils. History. Fetch. Annotated pages. Metadata. Anno. Downloads metadata. I see. So it's just another one of those. It's contained in the database. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a way. We're going to add a download to the database. How are we going to do that? Add test download. Downloads, create download properties. Download. Does this add something to the database from serializable? How do I add a download to the database? This is update. Add download to history. Here we go. Add download to history. Create a download. Add download to history. Promise visit. Add the download to history via using the XPCOM service, and use the download history module to save the associated metadata. Update the metadata. Promise the visit to the source URL. Properties. Source. Properties. Offset. Add Test download. Is there a simpler thing I can do? Like maybe this is enough. HTTP URL. It's localhost such and such. Okay, so maybe let's try this. Let's import download history. And then test that backup regeneration occurs when removing a download from history. Add task async function test download removed. And then we should also do one when all downloads are cleared. Test all downloads removed. Tests that backup regeneration occurs when clearing all downloads. Okay. That's not spelled right. Okay. So let's add a test download. Download. And the URL will be https://test.com/some file, private false, and then the target download one file location. Do I need to supply some path to a file? Does that work? Can I do this? If I do that, and then how does the removal work? Remove, add download to history. How do I remove download history? Remove down. Manually remove data. Removes the manually removed section of downloads. Slot. Validate container node removed. On download removed. Download integrate on download remove download on save view download history list. Notify. So in here, remove the associate on download removed. Download list. Removes a download from the list. If the downloads are removed, this method has no effect. We'll download. Notify all move reviews that the download was removed. And then ourselves, if we notice the download was removed. Where do we actually place this utils dot history dot remove? Toolkit components downloads places utils history dot remove. Remove a download from history and verify that the change. Oh, so that's how you do it. Okay. Download and remove source.url. Remove download.source.url on download removal. Let's see what happens. No good. It doesn't like this. So I'm going to give it some silly path. const fake file path equals path utils join path utils temp dir some file.zip. How about that? Or do I have to actually create the file? It liked it. Hey, all right. That's very nice. All right, how about when clearing all downloads? Clear all downloads. Where clear all downloads? What's the name of the string that does it? Downloads, clear downloads. Command clear downloads. Remove finish, then places history, remove visits by filter. I see. So let's add a fake download. Let download 1. Let download 2. Some file 2. Expect a regeneration if we clear all downloads. Is there a test that does this? I guess not. Okay. I'll just do it this way. Await, remove by filter, places history, transitions, download. So we expect that to cause a regeneration. Good. We should make sure that, well, no, we remove visits by, yeah, we got rid of the downloads. We're good. All right, so that takes care of this. We need to do deleting any bookmark. I'm going to save that one. I've got delete any password. That's in the next patch. So let's work on that next and a test. All right. I'm going to call this part 2. Let's take a look at the patch. There is, yeah, password manager storage changed. If we notice that a login was removed, we'll do a debounce. So let us pretend to remove, let's actually remove a password. So test that backup restoration occurs when removing a password. test password removed. So let's test. Login. Oh, there's also remove all logins. So we're gonna remove all logins. Is that another observer notification? We have to cover that as well. Remove login and remove all logins. Remove login or data equals remove all logins. Debounce. So tests. Create password, add login async, and then, okay, this is how you do it. So let's start by test password remove, add task async function test all passwords removed. So test that backup regeneration occurs when all passwords are removed. Okay, so let's add our fake login here. Login. As login from record. That's this. Store. New login rec. This is for sync. Okay, let's do something more extensionsy. NS login info. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, and then add login async login one. Okay, so we'll use this. We'll define this thing at the top. We will define this login. And then let's remove the login. Services logins.remove. How do you remove a login? There's remove all logs. Remove login. Okay. Await services logins dot remove login, or is that is remove login? It's synchronous. Okay. Remove login. Okay, so that should pass. Good. And now removing all logins. Login 1. Login 2. Is there a way to, I'll just do this. I don't want to muck about. Login 1, login 2, and now we will expect a regeneration on remove all logins. Remove all logins. Oh, we need to on all download, remove all downloads removed. It's cleared. And then this is saw regeneration. I already know. Hang on. I just corrected that thing. All right, hold on. I'm going to put that back. I'm going to update this. Saw regeneration on password removed. On all passwords removed. Let's make sure that passes. Good. Okay. Amend. And then we're going to correct this one. Oh, it already did. Oh, shoot. I corrected a thing. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. On download removal. I'm trying to keep the different things that are the different tests. They're all in the same file, but I'm trying to keep them kind of separated by commit. I don't want to leak over from one commit to the other. So that's kind of informing what's going on here. And I'll put that back. And what does hgabsorb say? Which one does it want to put it in? Yeah, that's the one. Good. Good eye. Good eye, good eye, good eye. Good eye, Mike. All right, so that's covered this one, this one, this one. Let's do deleting any bookmark. So when you delete a bookmark, let's start by adding a test, actually. Test bookmark removed. Not bookmark on bookmark removed. So we'll have to fill that in. And then this one's all bookmarks removed. All bookmarks are removed. All bookmarks removed. Okay. Got our two tests that sort of stubbed out. So bookmark removal. The places, we're going to use the places observer. We need to add to our places observer. Page removed. We're going to add bookmark removed. Case bookmark removed. Debounce. Actually, we probably just do a fall through. Intentional fall through. Bookmark removed. That should be it. Just bookmark removed right there. And now we need to test. So how do I add some fake bookmarks, places, book. Insert, here we go. Bookmarks insert, parent GUID, test URL. What's test URL? Sure. And then what's test URL used for? Can I use it for removal? Remove. Erase everything. That's good to know. Utils bookmarks dot remove item. Remove and then bookmark GUID. Okay. So does bookmarks insert give me back a GUID? Yes, it does. So then I can do, oh wait, places utils dot bookmarks dot remove, and then what do I pass it? BM. Oh, I can just pass it the full-blown bookmark. Great. All right, let's see if that passes. Who's aggressively pinging me on Slack? Am I being aggressively pinged on Slack? I haven't really been paying attention. Oh, it's just a bunch of people asking questions. I'll figure it out later. So that one failed. All bookmarks removed. Oh, because yeah, this one passed, this one failed because we haven't done anything here. So let's add a couple of bookmarks. Content 1, test URL 1. I guess there's no reason to have that be a constant. What I'll do is I'll say let bookmark 1. I don't even need to do that because I'm going to be just erasing everything. Insert content 2. Generation test bookmark. One, 2, and then we're going to erase everything. Await places utils bookmarks erase everything. Is that what it is? Places utils bookmarks erase everything. And does that fire the write observer notification? Will bookmark remove be fired? Yes, indeed. Erase everything. Just so I understand, with connection wrapper, promise, execute cache, then clear the cache, delete. Notification. Where's that notification occur? Bookmark removed. Occur. Places event type. Bookmark removed. Okay. History cleared. Page removed. Okay. That happens here. Handle places event. Oh, and ensure is observing bookmarks. Append element. And here, if M is bookmark observer. Stop observing. Bookmark removed. Constructor. On. Remove item. Remove item occurs. Well, it works. I'm not going to dig into how places works, but that appears to work. So clearing one bookmark or all bookmarks, that works. So that's Done, 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 done. Now we have to do uninstalling any add-on. Okay. Now, we have to see if there's some kind of like observer notification. Manager does this thing. Services, obs, notify, update permissions, update start, updates found, background complete, add-on install started. Is there add-on uninstall? Add-on install failed. This is start install. Is there, what's the remove? Uninstall. Add-on uninstall. Add-on uninstall. Install. Record. Add-on listener. Yeah. Oh, that's just telemetry. Okay, not interesting. On uninstalled though. Add-on listener callbacks. Is there no? Tests. Listener. Add add-on listener. Aha! Aha! Okay. Add add-on listener to the add-on manager. Oh, we did this in customizable UI as well. Add add-on listener. And what is the API? Like, what is it? An add-on manager listener. What is the definition of an add-on manager listener? On extension ready, on disabled, on enabled. Okay. Customizable UI on this. This is customizable UI internal. What are the add-on? What are the things that we're listening for? On enabled. Okay, so we don't have to do them all. So we want on uninstall. That's it. Add add-on listener and then on uninstalled. Okay. So places observer, and we'll have an add-on listener. The add-on manager listener, is that what we call add-on manager listener? Is that what they call them? An add-on listener. Well, this one calls it an add-on manager listener. I'm gonna say it's probably an add-on manager listener. Oh, there's an add-on listener and a manager listener. Oh, geez, come on. There's a manager listener. And what do we want? Add manager listener. What's the difference? What is a manager listener versus on startup shutdown? Oh, for the on compatibility, update mode change. So that's for the actual the manager itself, which isn't. It's. I want add-on listeners. So I want an add-on listener. The add-on listener that will listen for add-on uninstalls in order to trigger backup regeneration. And then type add-on listener or null. And then places observer. Add-on listener equals actually, I think we can add ourselves as the add-on listener. That seems to be the... I might not actually need this property. I think I can just do add add-on listener. Lazy add-on manager. Add-on listener, this. And then I'll make sure to remove it down here. Remove add-on listener, this. We need to make sure that the add-on manager gets brought in up here as a lazy import. There's some function in here called on uninstall. On places events, I'll put it here after on place events on uninstall add-on. This method is the only method of the add-on listener interface that backup service implements and is called by add-on manager when an add-on is uninstalled. Uninstall. And then I guess it's passed an ID. Add-on ID. It's not really used. The ID of the add-on being uninstalled. We're gonna debounce regeneration. Okay. Oh, I'm getting lit up on the internet. What is happening? Are any of these important questions? Nothing too important. Okay, so now I need to test, make a test extension and then uninstall it. Tests that backup regeneration occurs when an add-on is uninstalled. Test add-on uninstalled. So I believe there is something called extension, test utils, load extension. let extension test extension equals some test extension test backup regeneration no background script. It's a temporary add-on. No permissions. No default actions. Okay, and then let's uninstall. Is there the equivalent of uninstall in here? Extension test utils. Remove extension. What is it? Register cleanup. Extension test common. Oh, there's XPC shell test utils. Install. Oh boy. So maybe I have to do this. MS add-on manager and add-on test utils. And then all this stuff. Get app info comes from okay. Test utils dot expect extension. What else do you have? Load extension. Okay, now how do I remove an extension? Load extension. Generate extension wrapper. Maybe I call uninstall on it. Extension wrapper. Startup. Unload. Yeah, I'm gonna call unload on it. Okay. And is unload is an async method. Okay. Await test extension dot unload. Saw regeneration on test extension uninstall. Let's see what that does. Oh boy, G Suron is talking to me about some cheap viewers, and I'm not interested. So if you have band power, go for it. Extension not running at 217. Oh, do I have to do something else? Load extension. Thank you very much, Smurf D. Thank you so much. Install test. Oh, maybe I have to install it first. So you load the extension and then you maybe do startup. Await test extension startup, maybe. Deferred. And then add on uninstall. How about that one? Web extension unload. What is this? What's the difference? What's add-on? Add-on install. Okay, well, web extension dot unload seems to be the right one. Thank you so much, Smurf D. Extension left running at test shutdown pending equals to unloaded. Was I supposed to do something else after I tell it to start up? Install. Startup, await finish, and then unload. I waited. Background. Test ext. Maybe I have to wait for it to be ready. Wait, background, what is background? Background is this. Is this the thing that sends ready? Ready. No, so then maybe I just need to do this. Await test extension. No dice. So unloading, is it because test regeneration, test add-on installed, run next test, add-on manager, oh, add-on manager is not initialized, so installing the temporary add-on fails. Okay. Add-on manager, do I have to do something special to enable the add-on manager, override cert DB? Do I have to init test utils, init override cert DB? Maybe I have to just do this part. Create app info. This one's using permanent. Okay. Well, let's try this one. This test scope is null. Can't access register cleanup function. Test scope is null on load extension. Did I not pass the right things? Register cleanup function on XPC shell utils 63. Okay, test scope equals on the constructor of new extension wrapper current scope. Where does current scope come from? Current scope equals scope init. Aha, so extension test utils init, I pass it the scope, and apparently I am not doing that. Extension test utils init. I never did that. Seems strange. All right. What's the difference between add-on test utils unit and extension test utils unit? Init. Test scope. Multi-test. try it again. The add-on manager is not initialized again. Install temporary add-on in add-on manager. Add-on manager is not initialized. How do you initialize the add-on manager? It's not initialized if gstarted equals false. So gstarted, where does it equal true? Inside of startup, add-on manager startup. Internal startup, and that occurs inside of add-on manager private startup, which happens here on add-ons startup. AM manager. On test utils, promise startup manager. This is sounding promising. Promise startup manager. Okay, that's what I need to do. Saw no regeneration within 1 second. True equals true. Online. Let's expect no regeneration. That must have been for a prior one. Oh, you know what we should do? We should, to avoid getting confused, I'm going to update this, set timeout. Timer sys.mjs. Args. Is there an abort signal that NSI timer will take? That'd be nice. Abort controller. No. Guess not. That's unfortunate. Okay, so I can't abort them. So this thing just never happens. Maybe it's because that ready never fires. That one always seemed a little suspect. Good. Timed out waiting for regeneration. So the regeneration did not occur. Interesting. But we got to the end of it. So test extension unload. Let's put a debugger here. Okay. What? User cancel. Add login async. Cancel primary password entry. What? Right. Let's try that again. Actually, let's do it this. I know that'll upset it, but that's the only one I care about. Okay. Unload. Test utils. So stepping inside is broken. Test common. Unload. Are we over here? Are we gonna get there? No. Let's try it again. Where's extension test common? Extension test common. Okay, maybe I'll wait here first. Okay, extension test common. Uninstall. Sync. Unload that one. Unload. Is there a different one? XPC test utils. Here we go. All right, go. Yes, okay, here we go. And now I'm also going to go into the backup service where we have an on uninstall. I'm going to set a breakpoint here. And we're going to step through this stuff. Unloading. Okay, we're going to do that. This add-on uninstall. See, stepping in would be really lovely if that worked. Equals uninstalled on uninstalled. On uninstalled. Is that? Oh, do I have the wrong name? That's what's going on here. If I change that from on uninstall to on uninstalled, does this pass? Hooray! Okay, so now I can get rid of this. And do I need all of this stuff? I don't think I do. All right, looking pretty good, gang. So we've got this done, this done, this done, this done, and this done. Let's see if we can do one more. Deleting any saved payment method. Deleting a saved address. Payment method. So can we delete some cards? Backup service, credential management, security. Payment, autofill profiles, cards. I think there's a way. And we did this in our marionette test to payment methods, add test payment methods. this. Something like this. Ooh, we should get rid of this debugger. Test that removing a payment method that backup regeneration occurs on when removing a payment method. I just realized I should commit what I have, because I don't think I've created a commit yet. HTDiff. This should just be the extension one. Remove add-on listener. Perfect. Bug 1890427 part 3. Use an add-on manager, an add-on listener to generate backups when an add-on is uninstalled. Good stuff. When removing a payment method, test payment method removed. This is how we add a payment method. Put this up at the top. Expected token, expect regeneration. Did I do this wrong? I did do this wrong. There we go. Expect regeneration. Saw regeneration on payment method removal. Okay, so we need to figure out how to remove that credit card. Form autofill credit cards dot remove. GUID. So does credit cards dot add give me a GUID? Let's find out. Card equal dump card. JSON stringify card null. And then we'll skip this part. Hey, we're almost done this episode. Let me know what you thought. I'm about to wrap again for 2 weeks, and I'll be back on the 28th. Exciting test. Where did we see the payment method? Card. It's just yes. So we got back a GUID. Very good. GUID equals that, and so then if we do await form auto fill storage dot credit cards dot remove GUID. Go ahead and fill in the form. There's a rate this episode for. Let me know what you thought. Thank you, Smurfd. Have a nice vacation. Some of it I will definitely be working. It will not be a vacation. I'm traveling for work. But thank you very much, and hope I will be back soon. Here's the link to rate this episode. I'm dropping it in the chat. Let me know what you thought. What'd you like? What'd you not like? Would you like? Well, your feedback is useful in making this stream work. Also, if you have questions that you want me to try and answer on the stream about the code base or Firefox or Mozilla, I can give it a shot. So send me your questions. You can just submit them via that form. All right, let's see if we can get this last bit working really quickly. So this should fail because we haven't actually hooked up any kind of behavior and backup service to notice a credit card removal. Good, so that failed. So is there an observer or something? Credit cards, remove form credit cards base, autofill records, remove, notify observers, form autofill storage changed. Here we go. Let's specify record. The GUID. Did sync generate this removal? The collection name. Okay, so we need to add another observer notification. Services, obs, add observer. We need to remove that observer down here. Change, we'll do this. So if data equals remove and subject, let's take a look at how other tests use this. Subject wrapped JS object collection name. Wrapped JS object dot collection name equals, what was the collection name? Credit cards. This dot debounce regeneration. Now let's see if that passes. Hooray! Okay, so we'll go ahead and commit that as well. Bug 1890427, part 4, use an observer to regenerate backups when a payment method is deleted. So nearly there. We should probably have all of these done soon. I've got these done. I've got this one soon done. I'm going to do that one next. That should be a fast follow. And then some of these are, I think this is redundant. Clearing all history is already covered. Clearing all site settings. Site settings will be an interesting one. Sanitization. I'll have to look into that. But all right. Thanks again for watching. I will see you in a couple of weeks. Take care, everybody. Stay safe and be good to your loved ones. And talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.